Chapter 19. The end of evil has come. When God makes the world of evil bow down. It is a new era when the era changes. It is a new politics. The Lord of the second coming comes to take away evil inside me. God lowers evil and makes the spirit and flesh new. However, even if the Lord of the second coming comes close to me so that he can rest in me, if I am spiritually dull, I cannot recognize him. He comes when the gospel is witnessed to the ends of the earth. That time is now. It is the time when the Lord of the second coming makes evil bow down. There can no longer be a person inside me, the other, who opposes God. Lustful thought of the human ends up following God. This is God stepping on Satan. When the word that opens in the spirit enters inside the human spirit, all evil worlds inside us become extinct. We do not hope in the things of the earth, but hope in the things of heaven. When the love of the Lord of the second coming enters, my lustful self automatically melts away, and by the word, God's kingdom stands in my spirit. Now, I can directly meet God and come face to him. Until now, God revealed and fulfilled the word through human beings on this earth. He will reveal and show the second coming by the word, by God's agape love toward mankind. The second coming is the praising and worshiping of only him. The end of evil has come. The spirit is a grave. A demon-possessed hovers around a graveyard and asks, "What have you to do with us, Son of God?" A demon-possessed hovers around a graveyard and asks, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" As it is stated in Matthew 8:29. At the time of Jesus' first coming, demons recognized the Messiah, the Son of God. However, they said he came before the time was fulfilled. The demons said that their end did not come and they still had work to do, so they asked why he had already come. They were ones who worked inside the Jewish people of the law, so they were hovering about the law. Jesus said that the Pharisees were whitewashed tombs, so demons came out of the people who were in the law. The demons knew that works in the law inside the Jewish people already came to an end. By Jesus' coming, the law brought down the tent. So demons hovered about the graveyard and waited for Jesus. They were ones who were prepared in advance for the work of Jesus. There was still work to be done, so they said their time had not yet come. They said in Matthew 8:31, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." Spiritually, herd of pigs refers to the other. Are we not the herd of pigs? They said that as their new work, they would go inside of the other. It states in Matthew 8:32, "So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water." It states in Matthew 8:32, "So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water." When the demons kill the herd of pigs, Jesus goes to save them. If the demons go into the herd of pigs, and the pigs rush down the steep bank into the lake and die in the waters, Jesus goes to save the ones who died. Now, if such work from the other comes to an end, would not the demons welcome Jesus? Their response would not be, "Our time has not yet come," but will change to, "Please, enter." The end of all the days of evil's life has come, so they will wait and say, "Lord Jesus, please enter, for it has become my time." That is why the Son of God, The Lord of the second coming comes in the time of demons. From now on, those in Eden who disobeyed and tried to become like God bow down. Those who behaved as God bow down and go back to being a servant. That is why they cry out, "Lord Jesus, please enter." When God stands in the place of judgment, all the kings of the earth are banished. God comes to his own land, and those who behaved as God while sitting in his seat all get banished. God receives offerings of the Old Testament. In the era of the Old Testament, the other could not touch Israel in any rash way. It was because they saw miracles and acknowledged God. They knew that Israel was watched over by God. Everywhere the Israelites went, those who opposed them, the other, surrounded them. God's plan and purpose are to show that God lives, and they are to lift himself up through Israel. The reason many people in this era criticize Christianity is that many do not know that God is alive. They do not fear God or know that he is a dreadful God. To denounce Christianity is similar to denouncing God. From now on, God appears and shows that he lives. The time has come where God makes the other bow down before Israel. The other will be alarmed and say, "God is with these people. God is alive, indeed. God is the true divinity." Everywhere Israel goes, the other will bow down its head. Now their end has come. It is the end of all the days of evil's life. Evil departs and passes away. There can be no evil on Israel's land. Israel is land that has been separated, and God manages it closely. So now, God does the work of bringing up that land as light of the other. A new era opens, and it is the restoration of Eden, that is, the era of love. When God goes inside of Israel and reveals that he lives, the other comes to know that God is feared, and they close their mouths. The works of heaven and earth shaking will arise. God's plan is an amazing work. God will reveal this work to the whole world and make mankind bow before him and worship him. From now on, Jehovah God appears and says that he will receive the offerings of the Old Testament. Offerings of the Old Testament refer to God's direct reign and participation. Until now, God was patient because of his Son Jesus. God sent the cross to the other to gather Israel from the other. Israel of the other. God gathers Israel from the other, appears as light inside Israel, and causes the other to bow down. When God of the Old Testament appears, the works of heaven and earth shaking arise. My movement, one by one, becomes the movement of divinity, and amazing works arise. If the divine being goes inside the human and moves, all things are beautiful. Amongst those without faith in this era, and perhaps with faith, how many people acknowledge and believe by saying, "God is alive, God lives and moves." If they believe and acknowledge that God is alive, they will all come back. If I am a child of God, I end up coming back. This is work planned by God so that God can fulfill his will.